Hello, this is Matthew Miller from Nokia Expert Site. I want to do, I've got the Nokia N900 for a couple of months to evaluate and talk about, so I wanted to show you some of the hardware and just some of the features on it. So let's start with just kind of the hardware walk around. This on the right is the Nokia N900, on the left is the N97, so you can just kind of see a size comparison there. And if we look at the top view, I do have some photos that you can see it's a little bit wider. Thickness is about the same between the two. You can see there's a difference here on the keyboards. The N97 has more space than the N900, and it has a tilt, whereas the N900 does not. But let's just take a little walk around the hardware quickly. So this is the front display. As you can see, there's no buttons at all on the front of the N900. It's completely flush. There's a speaker up there. There's a proximity sensor. On the display. Now, if we look up top, we see there's a micro USB port and one of the speakers, an opening for lanyard, I believe, there. And then at the bottom, we see there's a microphone opening, 3.5mm headset jack, the lock switch, the other speaker, and the Stylus silo is located here. It's a nice length of Stylus. It's plastic. It doesn't feel very hefty or anything. But I haven't found that I've really had to use the Stylus at all, and I'm trying to avoid it, actually. Up on the top, we see what it looks like it may be an infrared port there. I'm not quite sure about that. I'll have to look in the manual. There's a camera button, there's the power button, and there's a volume rocker. And swinging around the bottom is nothing. And then on the back we have the Carl Zeiss 5-megapixel camera with dual LED behind the slider there, and also the back has a, as you can see there, it is a kickstand for being able to set this up by itself and watch movies and things. It has a matte finish to it, plastic. Reminds me very much of my old Zune 30 gigabyte MP3 player with the same kind of feel. It seems like it will not scratch. I haven't used a case on this at all. It seems quite durable. So now back to the front. The main thing on the front that we see is the keyboard there. And as you can see, there's a directional arrows over here. It's a 3-row keyboard. The keys actually have nice tactile feel when you press them. They press in quite nicely, and they have that same kind of a matte rough finish, so they don't slide. Your fingers don't slide across there. Actually, very easy to press. The keyboard takes a little bit of getting used to because the top row is quite close to the bottom of the display there. There's not a lot of room, and I'm kind of thinking, I wonder if they could have just slid it up just another millimeter or two to give a little bit more room for thumbs on that upper row. However, once a little practice, you find that it actually is quite good. Now let's see if I turn off the overhead light, if that helps with this. There's a couple ways to turn on the device, and what you'll see as I walk through it is it's primarily designed for using in landscape mode. I'll kind of jump through both portrait and landscape and show you that. So if I was to press the top power button, there we get this swipe to unlock. And let me just turn off the other light up above. So if I press the top power button, we get an option for swipe to unlock. So then if I can swipe it across, I see it unlocks the display, and we'll look at that in a second. Okay, let me turn it back off. Oh yeah, another press of the top button then gives me options for switching off, silent, phone, go to the phone, secure the device, offline mode, lock the screen and the keys. So let me just flip the switch on the side. Now if I flip the switch on the side, it immediately jumps me into the interface itself without going through the slide to unlock. Okay, so swipe using the unlock switch will take you right to the main displays, whereas the top power button will take you to the ability to unlock it. So you can unlock it either with the switch or with the slide. Now this is your main desktop, I guess, interface, and you have 4 of these screens. As we slide across, you see you can actually customize the background and the widgets that appear on each one. And some are the default, some I've put some shortcuts on, and So as you can see, there's 4 different ones. And this one here, as you'll see over here on the left, these feeds, it's a Facebook and a news feed. Actually, we'll scroll through live feeds. These are shortcuts to web pages. Here we've got some calendar information, the contacts, and then we've got some application shortcuts and OB services on the bottom. Okay, now if I tap, as you can see up in the top left, if I tap this area, there's a bunch of different, this is the notification area and kind of management area. You can see you manage your profiles, manage the wireless with the Bluetooth. This here, this record camera and record a video, record a screen capture is a utility I downloaded. That's not on there by default. There's email right there. We got a connection switcher, which actually is again another utility I downloaded. Talks about what connection I have, clocks and alarms, battery status, and more information. Also, let's see. Oh yeah, so what you'll see throughout the UI is that if you're on something like this, you'll see this kind of fuzzy around the back. Now you're wondering, where's the OK button, or how do I get off of this? All you do is tap outside of the active window and it closes it. Okay, so these are the 4 desktops that you can switch through. All right, up and down. Actually, I didn't know that did that. Up and down gives you the option to manage and customize that, right? So if I switch that, I tap on this, now it's the desktop menu. So if I tap over here, and there's where the options. Add a shortcut, a bookmark, change the background, add a theme, add a contact to the home screen, add a widget, manage your views. Manage your views, you can see that you can toggle these on and off. So you have 4, but you can turn them off if you want and go down to 3 or 2 or 1. It's quite customizable. Alright. And then if we go to the widgets, you see there's just a couple widgets. Some I loaded, some are loaded by default. There's not very many options. Bookmarks have, any application that you have, or any bookmark for URL, and then shortcuts, of course, or any applications you have loaded. Alright. One thing I find is on some of these screens, let me particularly go to this one. Okay, now see, sometimes I want to move these around. You can tap on them and then drag them around the screen. Sometimes I've accidentally closed these because the X button's a little bit too large in that area. Okay, so now these are the home screens. Now if we tap this other button up here, we're taken to kind of your programs, kind of your start screen, right? And most of, let's see, all of these are applications. They're loaded on the device by default. There's OV Store there, which is actually not active at this time right now. I imagine it'll be flipped on when the device is actually released. And then you'll see there's actually some S60 type applications. We have now Nokia Maps. We've got a full calendar on the Maemo. We've got a photo browser, contacts, email, and then conversations, which is nice. This is actually threaded conversations with SMS and also instant messaging. Calculator clock, and if we tap more, we have more applications. Many of these are also ones that are loaded by default, and then a couple I've added on there. Quick, as you can see, is an available application. This Maiku is a Twitter application, kind of a basic one, doesn't have a lot of functionality to it actually. I wanted to start a few of these applications to show you something here. So there's the calendar. And what I'll do is I'll try to create more videos showing specific applications, especially as it pertains to some of the primary applications such as the web browser and things like that. So I'll create more videos for that for you guys to see. So I'm just starting up some applications here. As you can see, it is pretty responsive and snappy. There's an RSS reader. There's a sketch application. So I've got a bunch of applications running. Now the task switcher on this is very nice. I've tapped this up here on the left. You see this is my task manager, right? And as you can see, the things in the background, if they happen to refresh or things like that, are actually live updates and thumbnails. I've had up to 24 applications on here, and it will squeeze, let's see, it squeezes I think about 20, and then there's or something like that. And then there's 4 that are half images, and you can scroll up and down. But The processor is able to run several applications at once, and if we jump into, say, something like the calendar, there's our week view, and then you can see there's a bunch of different options here. There's a month view, which kind of shows you some of your appointments that you might have going on. Details of applications here. Let's just go to the web browser and pop open. I'll show you what Nokia Experts looks like in the browser. The browser, I have to say, every single web page I've ever thrown at it so far, it has given me the desktop view if I like, and it has been fantastic. It's the best mobile browser I've seen as far as what it presents to you. And as you can see, here's the Nokia Experts. This is not the mobile version of the site. This is the full version with, as you can see, we've got the layout there. And it's quite snappy, as you can see as we scroll around, right? That's where I talked about webkins actually being viewable on this display. So if I wanted to look at some of the options for the browser here, just go and show you. So there's a different view here. Okay. Add-on settings. Some of the settings that you can see. Okay. And I don't believe there is a mobile version. Yeah, I don't think there's an option for a mobile version. I think you just get the full internet when you browse with this. So that's a quick look at. That's surprising. I must have taken all of the. For sure, I had some images there. Very interesting. I'll have to go check that out. I wonder if I lost my images. I did take a few of them off onto my Mac, and I wonder if I moved them all off and deleted them off of the device itself. So that's a quick look at the Nokia N900. I will go into more details about specific applications and things that you'll find on there, and that's just a first look. Thanks for watching. Again.